Yes. Well, actually, no, we don't need to put that in the piping bag. We'll do that a different way. And again, I've got to remove this from the metal bottom. The removable bottom makes it nice and easy to remove. If you don't have a removable bottom, we just need to tip it over and get it out. We're going to set it on a board as well. No, I don't. Thank you. We're going to whip ourselves nice and smooth on this custard. All right. And then with our custard, folks,
oh my God, I want to.
if you're truly not interested, you can step outside, but please don't disturb the rest of the class. All right, and I'm going to take a little bit of my whipped cream and add it into there to kind of lighten it up a little bit and make it not quite so heavy and a little bit fluffier. All right, and again, I'm going to gently fold it together as opposed to stirring it together so it stays nice and light and I don't lose all the nice fluffiness of my whipped cream. And thereby, that's why I made that custard nice and dark so that by the time I fold the whipped cream in, we still have a nice rich chocolate flavor left. And we're going to get it till we get a nice even color. And again, be patient. Don't be tempted to stir. Just go ahead and keep folding. And again, remember down the sides. Make sure you're getting the sides and that bottom. You got to keep, you have that little well in the bottom. You want to make sure that there's nothing hiding down there. All right, get all your whipped cream from around the top until you get a nice, smooth, even consistency. All right, and then we're just going to take this and go ahead and pile it into our shell. Now again, depending on what you have in mind, you can take your shell and paint it with chocolate or some of that ganache so you have a richer chocolate base on it to just intensify, make it kind of a double chocolate. But we're just going to go ahead and do it as such.
Painting with chocolate. I feel like I'm getting diabetes.
Alright, and we'll go ahead and spread it out evenly. Oh, spread it out evenly with our spatula. And when we get to this side, I'm just going to go ahead and glue that back together.
Never happened.
And you'll find that happens when you do cake decorating and things like that. Little pieces fall off in the middle. You can stick them back together, stick your whole cake back together, ice it. By the time you cut it, nobody will know. Mistakes do happen. Doesn't mean you have to throw your product away. You just work with it.
That's not easy fixing.
Hey, it is in the name.
Drop it on the floor, yes.
Drop
A bit more of a problem.
It's a little different.
That's a problem.
No, you cannot hide it.
Tell her I mistakenly put black pepper in. Black pepper.
Now, I've yet to see black pepper chocolate pie on the menu, but you never know. Okay.
He on that work for 45 days, he eat anything.
We used to do stuff like
I ain't did nothing like this.
Out to sea, got nothing else to do. Why not?
Now we're just going to get that fairly smooth. We don't have to be completely accurate because we're going to cover it with whipped cream. And now, of course, as far as the whipped cream goes, there's a million different ways to do it. I'm going to show you a technique that's, I think, very nice. Takes a little practice on this technique to get it, but I think you'll enjoy the way it looks.
Could you
So I'm
make
gonna,
that like what, peanut butter instead of chocolate?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
With the chocolate whipped cream on top.
Uh-huh.
It'd be like a raisin.
Correct. You know, by the same token, just like that caramel that we have, we could fold some of that in, make
And
it
how he's
caramel.
talking about how you could paint it with
All right.
chocolate.
Okay. So once we have that set,
Finna go home and make.
all right. And, oh, can I get another pastry bag up there, please? Somebody just grab one out of the dish room. Thank you.
Woo!
And what we're going to do
Scared the hell out of you too.
is scared the hell out of me too. You know, the first thing I thought when I heard it was, did I do it? Oh, I didn't do it.
I was trying to gently put it down so I didn't knock it down. And it was...
It wasn't me.
You waiting for it to get off to you. That's what you.
I was like, I'm sorry if I broke it.
You know what? Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to slightly larger tip to do this. And again, most people tend to use a star tip when doing decorating. But you could do very nice work with a round tip too with certain techniques. And that's what I'm going to do. Instead of doing the usual kind of star rosettes and things like that, we're going to take a look at something that's a little bit different.
Whipped cream's
All right.
serious.
Now remember, whipped cream, especially if you put it through a star tip, will actually whip up a little bit more as you're squeezing it through the bag. So you always want to make sure that you don't over whip your cream.
Just got whipped.
All right. I was just trying to make a pair of saddle shoes for Grady. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on one end. I'm just going to puff out nice little balls of cream.
Oh, it looks like tiny marshmallows.
Correct.
Looks like a thing that's on
All right.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. It does look like marshmallows.
Because she tries to talk with a Russian accent.
All right, and notice how I'm squirting from the, listen, notice how I'm squirting up from the side so that where my bag goes, I don't have, in other words, I don't do it this way so I don't have the little point on the top. I do it from the side so it has that nice smooth look on the top, okay? And notice as I'm squeezing, I'm going a little bit over the edges as I do it.
Question.
I can never
Like
do
the
that.
little marshmallow gel puff that's in a jar or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Is that light enough to use in a piping bag?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You can even ice a cake with it.
Oh, okay.
Could you make like a crust for a tart? Like almost make like a s'more tart and make like a graham cracker sort of crust with chocolate in the middle and then put like marshmallow, pipe marshmallow on top and like use a little lighter thing and kind of like toast it?
Oh, absolutely.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you sure
That's
can.
just what I was thinking.
There's one of your projects. If I was to do it, you make
There you
your own
go.
s'mores pie,
Yep.
s'mores tart.
Yeah. Just that's what made me think of because they look like little marshmallows all stuck together.
Correct. And that's why it's a nice, very different looking technique
Yeah.
than what you usually tend to see.
Quite like that.
While we're working with a pastry bag, oh, here it is. While we're working with a pastry bag, as your bag starts to get dirty, what we just tend to do is it's very easy to just take everything and scrape it back down toward the bottom of the bag, so we make sure that the top of the bag stays clean.
Amazing.
I know. Right?
I'm sorry.
You know, these are the little things that you're going to learn.
No kidding.
You know,
I would.
these,
I
I would
have
never
it.
thought of that in a million
these
years.
are the things that make your life easier in the bake shop.
It took some guy probably 200 years to figure that one out and then pass it on to bakers, to other bakers.
Well, the first 100 years they didn't even have the darn plastic.
They were using pig innards.
All right, so again, oops. And again, I thought I had burnt my bag far enough, but I hadn't. You always want to squeeze that bubble out of your bag. We call that burping it, yeah. Popping that air out at the beginning.
Okay. Rub your bag. So are you pushing it to a certain
Right? You say burping the bag. We don't really say belching the bag. That doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound as
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and
And so you're controlling the pressure.
correct. Squeeze, stop, pull away. Squeeze, stop, pull away. And in order to do that, again, it's important to learn how to hold your bag and work your bag. But notice how I just kept working down from the top, keeping my hand completely on the bag, and as it empties, just keep going down and down in the bag. All right?
Sorry, what's the feeling on the inside of your
So now what we can do,
Torch it.
Did you just say torch it?
no, you can't torch whipped cream, but if you did this with meringue, you could. All right? So I'm hanging a little off the edge, and now what I'm just going to do is take my spatula, go around the edge, and flatten that edge out.
It's pretty because the ripply.
You get that ripple. If you have a smooth one, you wouldn't. But exactly, you get that nice ripple effect, and you get that nice little oops, that little wall on the outside.
True.
It's
All right.
ripply.
So again, just to give you a nice little different technique that we're used to seeing. And now that you have your little square edge around, what we're going to do is
Take that.
take some chocolate shavings.
That's so pretty.
No, you didn't.
It's a very fattening flash just to look at. I'm just saying.
And just like we did with the almonds on the other one, we're going to take the chocolate and put it just around that little edge part.
That's so pretty.
It's got to tell the diabetes.
Yeah, I just gained 5 pounds looking at it.
Just around the edge, but not on the top. Or you can go over the edge on the top a little bit if you wanted to and just give it an edge of chocolate as well. So either way is going to work for you, but again, you pick it up and just touch it and it'll stick. You don't want to push it and ruin your design, but just touch it to the edge.
So those $60 cakes that are, yeah. Yeah.
That's how it's done, right? So what we did here, essentially, really, is turn a $10 cake into a $30 cake. Okay? just by the decoration and how much different it looks.
Pose. Go ahead.
That's what we doing.
Pose.
Damn.
Wait. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
It's just fun to watch.
I know these cameras don't take pictures as fast as like.
Okay? And I'll just go around and brush the excess off.
Upgrade your flash.
A cannoli is an entirely different deal. What a cannoli is the shell is a dough that's rolled out real thin,
Oh my God.
and then you cut a little cookie out, you form the cookie over a little metal
So
tube.
that's that one you're talking about where you do a stencil type thing.
No, this would actually be rolled out and cut just like we did with our cookie.
Okay.
All right?
Just
And you would just roll real thin. You have to make it real thin because cannoli, what you do is you fry the shell, and then you